If you need any Xbox or PlayStation codes or anything gaming related, check the referral links down in the description. They'll take you to g2a.com. They already have a discount on most of their goods already, and with the code CHES at checkout, you can get yourself an extra 3% off as well.
Hey guys, how's it going? Ches back again and welcome to episode number 177 of the Career Mode Road to Glory here on FIFA 15. We start back in Europe. It's time for the round of 32. We've got both legs in today's episode, and the first one is away from home against Stade Rennais. They're playing a 4-3-3 formation. Now in the last episode yesterday, we were in dominant form. We absolutely destroyed Norwich, and I've got a good win against Aston Villa as well. Not such a good result against Reading, so we're hoping that we can actually, carry on from the form in the first two games and not suffer like we did in the third game. So we'll try and get a decent result here away from home in the first leg. Obviously, as always, it goes without saying that away goals can be crucial in competitions like this, so we'll try our best to get an away goal or two if we can. But they're going to start off on the front foot just a couple of minutes in, and they work the ball about really nicely. Good save by Hutchinson, and how their striker, free at the back post, hasn't headed that into an empty net, I do not know. We should be 1-0 down already, but luckily for me, they hit the outside of the woodwork with the header, but they continue to come at me, just bouncing off my defender there. They're going to have another header at the back post, but a smart save down low by Marcus Hutchinson. He's been suspect throughout the season, on and off with his performances, but two brilliant saves to start this one off in the opening 10 minutes. Yusuf Paulsen gets inside with a really nice move here, gets tackled, but it drops to Johannes Guys, who draws a good save out of their goalkeeper as well. Chances at both ends here, obviously both sides wanting to get off to a good start in this two-legged affair, but both goalkeepers trying their absolute best to deny the opposition the ability to score a goal. Sadio Mane wins the header, and again a good save by the goalkeeper. John Stones stands it up to the back post though, and Mane is there again for a second header in short succession to finally have the breakthrough goal in the 23rd minute. Only 23 minutes in, but it could quite possibly be 2-0, 2-1, 2-2 by this point. Another good header by their man, but unfortunately Julian von Hart goes down and stays down injured from that particular challenge. He's going to be out for a couple of months with a broken elbow, unfortunately. Obviously, we're going to, I think, look to move him on in the summer for a large transfer fee to help improve the majority of the squad in the next transfer window, but it just falls awkwardly because his arm kind of gets stuck underneath him there as he lands. Really not the nicest of falls whatsoever. You can understand why he was in a little bit of pain there, but we get so lucky with Timo Werner winning two blocks there, or deflections, able to stand it up to Yusuf Paulsen to make it 2-0 on the stroke of half-time. We had so much luck with the first highlight where they missed the open goal and hit the post, and the luck continued there. Timo Werner just powering his way through two challenges to come away with the ball, and Georgiev gets oh so close to scoring a really flashy third goal. A third would probably kill the tie off completely, you think. A 2-0 scoreline away from home is brilliant, puts us very much in the driving seat, but 2 goals is definitely achievable by an away side, as we've proved here. If we can score 2 away from home, they can score 2 away from home as well, considering the amount of chances they've had in this game also. So far, they haven't scored, and they continue to not be able to get onto the score sheet there with their man with his header at the near post, flashing it over the top of the bar. Tried to just arc it towards the back post. Decent technique, just couldn't quite find the right finish. But a third goal would finish the tie off. I really don't think Stade Rennais are going to find 3 away goals, to be completely honest. Ivaz getting in behind here. His first shot is well blocked. His second shot is even better blocked. The first one was saved, sorry. The second one was really well blocked by the defender, lunging in, and that was how the game finished. So we are in the driving seat, as we say, but it could go either way in the second leg. 2-0 is a very good scoreline, but it is definitely a recoverable scoreline for the French side. Confirmation that Julian von Hart is going to be out for 2 months with that broken elbow. Fortunately, we have a surplus of central midfielders at the club right now, so we are able to cope with the injury in that position. Unfortunately, we aren't able to cope with the injuries that we have currently to our wing backs, and it's either this game or the next one. I think it's the next one, in fact, that I end up having to play a centre mid at right back. But here we have Marco Polens and Biragi back in. This is our strongest lineup that we could possibly put out. Obviously, Ivaz coming in for the now injured Julian von Hart. But there was a full week's break, obviously, no weekend game in between the 2 legs, so we were able to start a fully fresh side again, and they're starting a similar 11. I think it may even be the exact same 11, I'm not entirely too sure, but they're starting the same formation at least, 4-3-3 with a holding mid and 2 centre mids. Now, obviously, they started the last leg very much on the front foot in the opening couple of minutes, and they've got a corner in the opening couple of minutes here, and they're going to draw a good save out of Hutchinson again. He's been actually very good. Since we made the decision to sign a new keeper in the January transfer window, know, Hutchinson's barely put a foot wrong, and he's really kind of reacted to the threat of his first team place and been putting in some very good performances and making some very important saves. They continue to be on top here though, and another good save by the goalkeeper. My clearance though isn't the best. Was looking to try and find a striker, but in fact I found a midfielder of theirs. They thread it through really nicely, lay it across, and again Hutchinson's there to make the save. Really important stuff. We have a corner at the other end though on the half hour. Obviously we still have our 2-0 lead. Now we have a 3-0 lead on aggregate, 1-0 on the night. That doesn't really change anything. If Stade Rennais wanted to go through in normal time, they would have had to have scored 3 anyway. And still, even if they score 3 and draw it back level on the night at 3-3, they'll then go through on away goals. So the scenario hasn't really changed for Stade Rennais. They just needed to score 3 to go through anyway, and the manner in which they would go through if they scored 3 now is just slightly different. Rather than going through on outright goal difference 3-2, they'd go through on away goals by 3-2. So we need to get ourselves another one if we possibly can. Yusuf Poulsen takes that in his stride really nicely and buries it as well. 2-0 again, just on the stroke of half time when Poulsen scores. It's 2-0 and 4-0 on aggregate now. Into the second half we go. Baraki here picks it up. I tried to set up a nice, first time volley, but unfortunately the snow and his first touch didn't really lend itself to me being able to do that, so I had to just work another opportunity. We did get shot away in the end from the left back, but it wasn't really of that much trouble for the goalkeeper. They are going to have themselves a chance here, smashing it off the bar, and then for some reason I decided to just try and pass it out rather than hoof it out. Kicked it straight at the Stade Rennais player in the box, and he was able to tuck it away, but it didn't really matter. Or it didn't matter at all. Not that it didn't really matter. It didn't matter one little iota, because we come away with a 2-1 win on the night and a 4-1 win on aggregate. We are through to the round of 16 in the Europa League for the second year in a row. Obviously, we got to the semi-finals last year in the competition, where unfortunately we were knocked out by fellow Barclays Premier League side Liverpool. We currently find ourselves, though, 4 points away from the Barclays Premier League title. We have a game in hand on the team above us, so a victory here away from home against Queen's Park Rangers would be very welcome indeed. They're starting Andreas Weimann, obviously formerly of Aston Villa, now in real life of Derby County, I think. I think they sold him to Derby. And they've also got another name that, if you're a long-term viewer of this particular series, you will have recognised, Santiago Bologna. He was at West Brom, and we signed him on loan in the second season when we were in League One. Scored a few goals for us, was a decent signing actually, and impressed while he was here, and now he's earned himself a move to Queen's Park Rangers. He's grown quite nicely actually in this series, to be completely honest. He's now towards the latter end of the 70 ratings, and they hit the bar in the opening 2 minutes or so from that corner. Lovely acrobatic effort. They're still trying to work themselves in front here. Matty Phillips stands it up, and in fact they are going to get themselves in front here. It's Jordan Much with a nice header, just glances it off his forehead across the keeper into the bottom corner. I think the keeper was expecting him to try and power it in at the near post and was kind of wrong-footed. Went to move left to cover that near post, and as Much only got the glancing header on it. As he went left, the ball went right, and he couldn't change his feet quick enough. So unfortunately, we concede a goal early on, trying to get ourselves back in it though. Clearly, we're in good goal-scoring form right now. We've scored in every game for, I don't even know how long. I should probably check. We've scored in probably about 20 to 30 games in a row. Our goal-scoring hasn't been the problem so far this season. And in actual fact, our defending hasn't really been the problem either. We've scored a lot of goals. We've conceded a few. But, we're still second in the league, and we're still in the Europa League. Unfortunately, we went out of the FA Cup and the Capital One Cup, but obviously we're still doing very well in 2 other competitions. Trying to get ourselves an equaliser here. Kwesi Appiah, though, can't find the right finish there. Kwesi's been really disappointing this season. I've seen a few comments in the section, or a few comments in the comment section over the past few episodes saying, Ches, don't sell Kwesi Appiah, let him retire at the club. I may do so, but I probably will try and replace him in terms of a first team start. But we get ourselves back on level terms here. Stephen Corker's so unlucky. Blocks the initial cross, and it comes back off the post, smacks him in the chest and goes into the back of the net. So we were back on level terms at 1-1. Then Matty Phillips breaks behind here, and Andreas Weimann, with one of the best finishes we've seen this season, takes it in his stride, one touch with his left to set it up, and then pulls it back across into the bottom corner with an exquisite finish. That's 2-1 QPR, just 2 minutes after we've equalised and brought it back to 1-1. And unfortunately, we weren't able to, actually no, it was 11 minutes after we'd equalised, but unfortunately, we weren't able to get another goal. Even we weren't able to get another chance, so we lose to QPR. Then we get a job offer. We're 7.5, almost into the 8th season now, and this is the first time we've had a job offer in this series. It's from Liverpool, who obviously I've already managed this year in a separate series. Liverpool are currently in 8th position, I think. They are down in 8th. They've approached me and said, we're really impressed with the progress you've made at Cambridge United. Would you like to take over at Liverpool? I'll be completely honest, lads. When you're in 8th and I'm in 2nd, the answer is a very firm no. I do not want to take over at Liverpool. A, because you're down in 8th, and B, obviously because I've already managed Liverpool this season. So we'll stay at Cambridge. We're still pushing for that Barclays Premier League title, although we have lost a little bit of ground on Man United now, but our goal difference is now exactly the same as Chelsea's, and we have exactly the same games played, won, drawn and lost. So it's going to be really tight between the two of us. We are still 5 points inside the Champions League spots with 11 games to go. So we're closer to the top than we are to the spaces outside the Champions League. So fingers crossed we can at least get Champions League football for next season. If not, maybe even push for that Barclays Premier League title. It really is going to go down to the wire, I think. Hopefully we can have a good round of 16 in the Europa League, and fingers crossed continue to push towards the top of the table. But that's going to bring today's episode to a close, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Drop the video a like if you enjoyed. Of course, subscribe if you haven't already. I will be streaming FIFA 15 career mode over on Twitch tonight, so follow the link in the description to my Twitch and to my Twitter so you can stay up to date with everything that goes on with me. But for now, thanks very much for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time.